Rex deers, and your wildlife will look at you funny and kill you, and the water will kill you.
One word. Cassowary.
You have fucking Satan chickens!
Look, the Satan chickens, I'll give you that, but also they are in a very small part of the country. Basically, if you don't want to go anywhere near crocs, you won't be going near cassowaries either.
Emus.
Emus.
We are live, by the
Emus.
Even better.
Emus will not mess with you. Hello, everyone. How are you going?
Have you seen Useless Farm? That emu says otherwise. Karen will kill you.
Tell us in the comments which piece of Australian wildlife convinces you to never visit.
You have moose!
When I was in college, and I will not say where, but there is an emu farm on the outside of the town. And at some point, either somebody went over and snipped the fence or they got out, but about 37 emus got out and were running through the streets of the city.
Oh yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah,
This is why
Australia
the emus won
lost
the
that
war.
war.
Yeah, this is why the emus won the war.
Look, they used a tactical nuke.
Bears on our college campus.
Yeah, we have bears, we have wolves, we have moose. Australia has everything else.
Yeah, we had coyotes on our campus and bobcats.
You guys have camel spiders. Ugh.
We do.
We do have camel spiders.
I hate them.
I had one in my house one time in Colorado.
I'd have burned it down. It's not worth it.
You ever seen a raccoon that's just eating lipstick?
Yes, that's the funniest thing.
I'll be honest, if I could own a raccoon, I would. They're so cute.
Same.
They will
I
eat
would rather have a
anything.
possum, but a raccoon will scratch that itch as well.
I saw.
They will eat anything that has a scent. Lipstick, lotion, citronella candles, anything.
So, here's the thing. I think our cute animals outweigh your cute animals.
We have
Maybe.
mink.
We have quolls. They are very adorable.
We have chinchilla.
We have phascogales.
As pets, our chinchillas are not native to America.
I didn't say they were native. I just said we had them. Stop ruining this for us.
That's fair. I mean, we are, like, if we're going to go for the cute animals, we also have, like, more cute birds. And I will stand by this.
We have
fur dog.
Oh, you're going to fight me on birds? We have willy wagtails. They are adorable. Their scientific name is Willy Wagtail.
Yeah, I love that without even knowing what this bird is. I love that.
The reason they're called Willy Wagtails is because they make the sound whittle and they wag their tail. They do a little flippy with their tail. It's so cute.
Everyone, tonight's D&D stream will be postponed for zoology.
Have you seen a bear cub? Have you seen a bear cub?
It should not be friend-shaped. Bears should not be friend-shaped. I should not be able to look at a bear and go, I would give this thing a hug.
They should not have made teddy bears the number one, like, child stuffy.
No,
it's
bears.
Cut that down.
That was a political.
That was a genius political move, actually.
Bears shouldn't be that cute. Bears should not have the little round fuzzy ears and the little round fuzzy face and just a big huggable body that would absolutely get me murdered. I am also the person that would see a mountain lion and go, oh, you kitty kitty, and those would be my last words.
That's me.
Same thing, but with wombats.
Have you ever seen a prairie dog?
Oh,
yeah, they're so cute.
They're just little guys.
They're just little guys.
Well, wombats are so cute, but they will break your legs.
See,
They're the
even
ones
the
that-
good things in Australia will try to murder you. This is just reinforcing the fact that I'm not going to Australia.
They won't try to murder you. They'll just turn around too fast and break your legs.
They'll just succeed. They won't try. They'll
That's
just
what I
succeed.
hear. If
I
they're
don't
not
want to
gonna-
ride horses. I want to ride a moose.
That seems like a really, really bad idea.
I know.
Moose are so huge. They're
Actually, do
monsters.
you have prairie dogs in Australia?
No. We have a few things that are similar.
Mhm.
Probably the most similar thing to a prairie dog is a bandicoot, in terms of its ecological niche.
But are
A
they-
Do
prairie...
they crash?
Are they orange?
No.
I feel lied to.
There is a
My
lovely
whole-
Yeah.
YouTube channel that has just a little prairie dog that
Do they make tunnels like a giant anthill?
Yes. So they're insectivores or they're omnivorous. They burrow underground during the day. They live in hot desert locations because that's basically what we have. And also arid bushland. And they are just the cutest little guys you've ever seen. They've got little white flags on their tail and kind of triangular faces, and they're adorable. You also have numbats. Numbats are very cute as well. They're stripy.
I want to be friends
Um,
with a bat so bad. I would just love to be friends with a bat. But
Swamp rabbits. Let me tell you. Fucking cute.
A numbat is not a bat. We do have bats, but a numbat is not one of them.
yeah, but I want to be friends with a bat.
We have manatees. All right.
Okami, you want to be friends with an ROUS.
Correct. Even if they don't necessarily exist. Rawr!
Rodent of
I-
unusual size.
I would
Apparently
be
they
friended.
exist.
I would befriend it. If I do make that joke at some point and somebody says I don't believe they exist, everybody can bet that they are getting attacked immediately.
We have little weasels. We have chickadees. Chickadees are cute as hell.
Oh, I love
You know, I'd say that we were off the rails, but I'm pretty sure we're not on a train.
Okay, we've been bonked. I suppose we should behave.
Maine has puffins. All right. Puffins.
We have fairy penguins.
Puffins.
You can't beat my fairy penguins.
Puffins.
Do me, everything is content. This is content.
Dimmer, someone should break into your house and take your mission.
Who dropped the pipe?
I actually can't tell if that was a sound effect or not. That
It
could have
was.
legitimately
That was.
been something.
Some of them are really good.
The reason that both Okami and I know that that's a sound effect is because used consistently on Adeptus Ridiculous.
Correct. The only reason I recognize that sound effect.
And you know what? Sus.
Stop it.
That was
Dimmer,
not
come
the
on, we're
Amogus
playing
sound.
a game here.
Let's get focused.
That's a bold move on our part.
I ran out of my medication. You will be able to tell.
I'm not medicated. This is nothing new.
Na, 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 na.
Okay,
I've just
focus.
finished my coffee.
Roll it back. Bring it in.
Jimmy's trying so hard to reel this in, and we're fighting him at every step.
I'm working on it. Work with me. Damn it.
Insane shit all the time. How was I supposed to know this one was true?
Bank accounts are a scam created by the shadow government.
See?
What is that clip from?
Has
Aspen
been
Hotel.
Okay, we're not gonna get
So-
that. We're gonna derail even further. No, I'm evoking.
So
the
now I'm
power.
gonna start on my economics rant.
No,
I'm
we're rolling it
start
in.
ranting about the
Bring it in.
stupid poison dance that
Oh.
everyone's learning that doesn't look good when we do it because we're not animated.
Do not make me use the sound.
What second?
Roll it in.
Don't!
No.
It's the game. Don't!
Do not.
Everyone, we're playing D&D now.
We good?
I'm not.
Yeah.
We're good.
I'm sorry, Daddy Doomy.
Okay.
We weren't stepped out of line again.
Okay.
I don't know what you guys were talking about. This sounds fine.
Bad memories for them. It's trauma based. All right, DM takes away.
Laugh time on Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, now I made
Oh,
myself sad.
now I'm sad.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I forgot. Too soon. I'm sorry.
Way too soon.
I can do intro if you like, Okami. If you need a moment.
No, I got it. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting adventure with the Adventurers Anonymous crew as we start off the rails. Although technically we didn't start off the rails because we were never on the rails to begin with. When last we had left off in our adventure, our teams had come back together to reunite and to plan their next steps forward. Zypher had been informed about everything going on with the villages. Everyone had given similar reports, and some discussions had been had, lines of communication established. Parcels and purchases had been reallocated, and everyone had settled down for the... And to start out, I need everyone to roll me a perception, because you are all presumably asleep.
What do we roll?
Oh.
Say it again.
I guess it would help if I signed in to roll.
It is encouraged.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you do things.
That's karma.
Is this a sound or smell-based perception check?
This is a sound-based...
Okay, well, our good friend the doggo has advantage when I get to him.
Just like to point out that even rolling a 1, I still rolled a 10.
You did.
The lowest I can roll is a 6.
Yurei is with us in spirit tonight. It's me. I am the spirit.
Yurei's being possessed?
Yurei is being possessed and is currently his normal. So we have pulled Yurei's spirit out and shoved Rain's in, so she is manipulating two bodies at once. Yurei is currently in Fox daycare.
I would like to point out that I rolled something higher than your
Rain shoved inside of him.
You did roll higher. We're so very proud. I'm sorry. What was that, Augie?
I asked if Yurei consented to having Rain shoved inside him.
I mean, it was his idea, so.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just making sure that, I have to keep track of all that.
Yes, it was his idea. All right. So, throughout the middle of the night, as all of you are resting, and you all have been... It's gonna be another night. I'm not gonna be able to say a damn thing today. I got it all out in zoology facts.
I would like to point out there was something that I wanted to do.
Oh, yes,
sleeping.
you are correct. Yes, you are correct. I had completely forgotten. You are 100% correct. Hold your rolls. We will circle back around.
I mean, if there's something that happens before sleep, that's fine. But
No, it happens. No, it happens after.
And would I also be able to get the response from Yume?
Yes. I will chat. Scratch, what are you wanting to do?
Well, in a nice private. Well, I think we're all in separate rooms. Are we paired up again?
I mean, if you guys had been paired up before, you probably would have been paired up again. Zypher had kept the rooms that you guys had been using, so if somebody had wanted a different room, it would have been hard. It wouldn't have been hard to get a different room.
I'm asking because I didn't remember. Does anybody remember?
Kyrios, I know Kyrios was in his own room for sure.
Yeah, I think.
So remember when everybody came knocking on the door to get us, we all Augie came from one room to go get Scratch. Kyrios looked out the door I think we were all in our own rooms.
Yes, that is correct, because all of the guards had to go to each of your different rooms to collect all of you because nobody wanted to bunk together.
Okay. So, setting out my little prayer pouch with all my little accoutrement for Curdle Mac, Scratch is going to very carefully take out the silver crystal that we all thought was useless during the dragon fight. And setting it down, I'm going to attempt to talk to it.
Okay. So, how are you attempting to communicate with this crystal?
Well, with other crystals, we were able to kind of feel that there was something inside of it.
Right.
And with this one, when I picked it up, I was told that there was something inside of it. And I think we briefly had a discussion before.
Yes, you had been holding the crystal and you had been able to kind of talk to the presence inside because you had promised to help free.
I'm not sure that was exactly my words, but we won't.
Well, that was the discussion that was had. That was what it wanted. Whether or not you agreed to it and it didn't perceive it, that is up to it.
Yes. So yeah, I'm going to try and focus. Since this is before bed, I'm gonna try and focus the level 2 spell slot into the crystal and see if maybe I can recapture the same situation and be able to speak to it again.
Okay. Are you holding it in your hand?
Not at first.
Okay.
I've just kind of set it out with my little ritual stuff.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an Arcana. You can definitely feel the magic in this crystal. You can, as you're sitting there focusing on it, you can feel something trying to connect with you, but it's almost like it's like it can't penetrate through the crystal itself. There's some kind of barrier preventing it from directly connecting to you.
Okay. I know there's something in it, so that means... Okay. So from reasoning this in my head, from what I've gathered and what we've seen, I should be safe to touch it because from what Scratch is assuming at this point, through evidence, that the crystals can only hold one soul at a time. So he's going to just kind of worry on his lower lip for a second and reach out and just like very carefully lay 2 fingers on the crystal and try to put his last level 2 spell slot in.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a wisdom save.
Wisdom save.
Okay.
And well, yeah, let's flash for that since we are concentrating. Do I have a flash? I do have a flash. Okay, yeah,
so
I have.
You should have one.
Yep. I haven't used any of mine today, so there's one. So yeah, 16.
All right. Yes. So at first you feel this overwhelming presence in your mind, this angry, frothing at the mouth, kind of furious presence pushing in, and you kind of feel yourself almost falling away, but you manage to re-steel yourself and you essentially push the presence back. And you hear it kind of settle. And then you realize that you can now communicate with this presence. You can feel almost like a thread or something is connecting the two, and you don't feel like it's trying to overwhelm you like it was, and it's actually waiting to speak.
Scratch, sensing this, is actually quite satisfied with himself and wraps the crystal back up, putting it into his pack.
As you start to sever this connection, you feel the same rage and fury that you'd felt before, and you feel it trying to press against you again. But you are able to essentially push it away, and you're able to recover the crystal.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. Not quite ready to deal with that yet. On to other things. And before sleep, after doing his prayers to Curdle Mac for treasure and the ability to become a dragon, etc., etc., he is going to work on one of the little platinum rings he has before bed, and that's all I needed to do.
Roll me a religion check, would.
Oh dear.
As you finish your prayers and as you begin to move on to other topics, you feel a presence in the back of your mind for a moment before it disappears. As if something is watching.
Okay. That makes me ever more diligent in working on my little project, and then going to bed, keeping that thought in my mind.
Right.
Yeah, we're not talking to any super beings tonight.
Hey, Jimmy. You know how you have the little hand friend?
Yeah.
It probably doesn't have a soul. I'm sure that the dragon wouldn't mind being in a tiny servant.
I'm sure. I'm sure I wouldn't mind that. No.
Definitely.
We have other plans.
You can even stick little wings to the side. Make it feel at home.
Well, keep in mind, we still have Spark back at the ship that I had to deactivate. So, but yeah, that's all. I just wanted to work a method out of how to do that at a later date.
Yeah.
Scratch has too many plans going on right now to add side quests for supernatural beings.
See, you're not the only one that can put voices in someone's head.
I know.
All right. So the night passes quietly, passes easily until kind of just before you guys would normally be woken up. The sound of running boots. You all hear shouting. And you all smell something burning.
All gonna close their eyes for just one extra second and just curse under their breath and say we were so fucking close to getting out of here. And then do the whole stumble out of bed, one eye closed, put the pants on, boots going on as you're rushing out the door type of situation.
Brutus was in the library with Hallstrom, currently conked out. He would start awake and start barking, and then the bark would turn into the yell of fire.
Okay.
Scratch burst out of his door, pistol drawn, looking for what the fuck's going on.
Can we tell what direction people are going, or?
Scratch, you burst out, and you see guards running back and forth. You smell smoke, and you definitely see wisps of smoke coming from. You're not 100% sure which direction it's coming from because it's thicker than you expected because it's not a very heavy smell of smoke. And Scratch, you would notice it's not a normal color. It's kind of green.
Oh shit, we're in Oz.
Get on the ring and describe what I'm seeing, and the end of my message will be, Lachlan, what did you blow up?
I would come out wearing long johns and like, I didn't blow anything up.
Does Kyrius do the same thing when he steps out of his ring?
Yes, you see, and the guards that you guys see don't. They are very quickly running back and forth, but they don't seem particularly concerned.
I'm going to just grab one of the guards if that's possible and ask what's going on.
Hang on, Kyrius, you popped out of your room. Was there anything else you wanted to do?
If I see the same green smoke, my immediate thought is to cast Detect Magic.
Okay. You definitely detect magic.
The smoke itself, though, is it giving off magic or is it regular smoke?
Well, there's magic everywhere, and the smoke is also magic, and you sense necrotic magic.
Can I don't remember how our rooms were set up. Can I see Scratch in the hallway or no?
Yeah, you would have been able to see Scratch. You guys had been put in a corridor where you were all kind of across from each other, pretty carefully located. So Scratch bursts out of his room first. You pop out, you'd see Scratch.
So I would turn after casting spell. I would turn and look to Scratch and yell down the hallway. I'm sensing necrotic energy from the smoke. Be careful.
Oh, lovely. Great. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Scratch, did you ask Lachlan if he blew something up?
Yeah, he already
I didn't. Though this is a lovely shade of green.
It's actually not. It's very sickly.
I'm still saying it's lovely. It's green. I haven't seen green in a while.
Fair enough. It's kind of a gross, grayish, somewhere along the lines of vomit or baby
I'm going to
poop.
call out for Mini Zypher.
Mini Zypher pops out of Rain's room. Rain, you were the only person who didn't hear most of this, but you definitely recognize when Mini Zypher pops out. Because you feel the whoosh of magic.
Rain gets a magical pop whenever Zypher appears.
As of last session, he is now bound to me.
No, I was innuendoing.
Mini Zypher, Lord Zypher, the miniest. What the fuck's going on?
Oh, you have nothing to worry about. One of my experiments has gone wrong. Why?
Well, I mean, it just seems like everybody is alarmed and it smells bad and...
He kind of looks up and then he kind of, oh, the smoke went farther than I imagined. Yes, you should probably evacuate this area. I mean, unless you'd like to become undead, I would recommend it. That smoke is potentially toxic.
Oh, as in, like, we need to leave now, not later.
I mean, at least leave this area.
Will we be able to get our stuff later?
Well, I mean, you could collect your things now. It's not like you're going to die immediately, but if you spend too long, there are some potential ramifications.
Yep, I understand. Time to go!
Get your shit and go!
I pick up my cloak, having already moved my items inside, and I swing my cloak around my shoulders.
Further down the hall, Rain's door opens up, and then immediately slams closed.
It's snowing!
Augie goes back in their room and I imagine that Augie on travel like keeps everything in the bag at all times and just takes it out as needed, like very neat. And then you go see their hammock area in Mr. Scratch's workshop, and it is a fucking mess. It's lived in, but not on the road. That's not home. So like 3 seconds later, Augie comes out with their big ass pack on their back and it's like, all right, let's go.
Well, Zypher, do you know where the smoke hasn't spread to so we can evacuate to a safe distance?
No, I have no idea. The larger version of myself is down in the lab. If it's gotten this far, probably outside would be your best bet.
We should go get Hellstrom and Brutus. Trying to. Does anyone have a crowbar? We might need it to get the book out of Hellstrom's hands.
I don't believe a crowbar will be necessary. Although, honestly, the library probably is one of the few places that is, well, protected. I have more wards to protect my books than anything else.
Understood.
Is you guys evacuating outside?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, keeps.
Very good.
Rain would probably go out the window. She doesn't want to deal with that shit.
Just to confirm. I'm sorry.
Straight out the window. No, you're good. Just straight out the window. Not gonna look how far up you are. Just like the Prince Charming and Cinderella 3, just straight out the window.
Yeah, on my broom.
Fair enough.
I see absolutely nothing wrong or abnormal about that.
Fair enough.
Just to confirm, we didn't gain the benefits of a long rest, did we?
No, you did.
We did? Ah,
Yeah.
excellent.
This was happening like right before you guys would have been woken up like by the guards. So you got the full benefits of a long rest, and this is like maybe an hour before you would have woken. Because I am a benevolent god.
And would love you for it.
All right, you guys all funnel outside, and you see the staff and everybody's talking and kind of wondering. Nobody seems really concerned about what's happening, and actually, several people are laughing and joking, and several people are talking about what he could have possibly gotten into this time, and oh, it'll be so funny, and oh, the Lord is always doing such funny, goofy experiments. Oh, I wonder what color he's turned this time.
They're already dead.
The smoke is hallucinogenic.
No,
Yeah,
I
think-
inhaled a fair amount of it. Not hallucinogenic.
I don't know. I think he blew up his like down home meth lab. We gonna like get out of here without saying goodbye because he's probably in the epicenter of the smoke. Like
Augie, as you say that, as you ask that question, Augie, one of the side doors just bangs open, and this thick, billowing cloud of green smoke just comes out, and it gets about a foot in front of everyone before it is immediately drafted upwards. And none of you feel any magical wind. It's almost like the smoke is avoiding you. And Zypher steps out, a little worn, a little askew, a little disheveled. And he's wearing thick, dark goggles. And as he pulls them up, you notice that there are rings of green soot around his eyes. Very Saturday morning cartoon-esque.
Oh yeah, Augie is giggling to shit.
You are not the only one, Augie. Several people are giggling.
What does the smoke smell like?
Burnt hair, burnt rubber, and burnt moss.
So what were you doing?
I'm sorry about that, everyone. Too much in one vial, not enough in another. Castle will be aired out. Hours, no one needs to worry.
Benefit is you've fumigated it now. You won't have any pests. You know, like Scratch.
I haven't had pests in several hundred years, except for adventurers, and they usually get eaten by my plants.
To your weird ass kobold coat.
Yes, the kobold cult. I'm assuming they're no longer an issue.
No.
Then I'm not worried. I no longer have pests.
We didn't kill them all.
Honestly, I'm not too concerned. You're probably the most terrifying kobold I've ever met, and if you can handle them, I can.
Don't tell Mr. Scratch that, for the love of God. His head's gonna be so big he's not even gonna fit in the ship.
Too late.
Mr. Scratch, I don't think your hat's gonna fit anymore.
Hey, some all-powerful lord just told me I was the most frightening kobold ever.
I mean, compared to what they've experienced, can you blame them? Is it much of a compliment?
I would be terrified too.
Because you don't bathe?
What?
Anyways. Yes, my little adventuring party. Apologize for the rude awakening. It's not my intent, but as all of you are awake, if you would like to leave now and evacuate, we can. Take very long.
Yes, we have plans that need to be put underway. We have to.
And sun to see.
Well, son, ships to get out of impound.
Oh, yeah, we gotta find people.
Has everyone here teleported at least once?
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Many times.
I didn't know it at the time, but yes.
Enough?
Wait, did Rain catch up with us?
She's floating above you, just observing this entire thing.
I will be so happy to be back on the ship. And I turned to Zypher. No offense. I need the sun.
Here comes the sun, do.
I understand and recognize that my kingdom is a little bit unconventional, but here we are.
But also, canonically, I have to say that every day.
Every day that we're underground, there has to be one mention of the sun or he explodes.
Along with the sun.
Oh dear.
I could blow up the sun. That'd be fun. Or at least what you
Hey, messing around with celestial bodies is my thing in my campaign.
Yeah. In your campaign. We're not in your campaign. Messing around with celestial bodies in my campaign is my thing. I could blow up the sun. That'd be fun.
Do it, I dare you.
Okay, sun explodes. You all have 8 minutes to evacuate the planet.
Oh, I got this. I
We're
can do it right
exactly-
now.
You're telling me that we're exactly 1 AU away from the sun? That's impressive.
Thanks for the sub.
I mean, I literally could get us all off of this plane of existence in less than 8 minutes.
Oh, good. To the Feywild.
Well, I don't know where it would take us.
Oh no.
I think Augie might have a heart attack if we leave this plane of existence.
Yeah.
Go to one of the infernal planes. Let Augie become Doom Guy.
Oh no.
I mean, Augie would be very, very adept in Avernus.
Everyone would kill me for all of the brothers and sisters I've maimed.
Well, that's the thing about being Doom Guy. You need to kill them first.
Not so much more. Also, it's kind of a dick move to go to their plane and start killing them.
I mean, they
Yeah,
come
but it's
here
like-
and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this isn't their plane.
Exactly.
It's like someone tells you to go to hell and you get to say, I've been. It's dead now.
I just got back.
I don't think I'm much of like an invader. I don't want
No,
to.
more of a crusader.
I'm not one of those either.
Anyways, so Zypher's just kind of watching all of you. As long as everyone's ready, we can teleport here and now. I have a teleportation circle located outside, or you can try to get to the tunnel.
I mean,
I think what he meant to say was, let's go.
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here.
All right, is everyone together? Everyone here?
Do we have the dog and the middleman?
Grace would have been yelling about fire, so...
Yes, that is fair.
And Hellstrom would have received the message from Scratch, so...
Hellstrom's still under the impression that Lachlan blew something up.
We're just gonna go ahead and say that Hellstrom is in fact still under the impression that Lachlan blew something up and is muttering to himself about all the books and everything.
As one does.
It wasn't me, Hallie, I swear.
Do not call me that. No. Alright. So Zypher kind of corrals you over. You notice he's just watching you guys. And he corrals you all around. And see, we have 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't have anything set up for Zypher's character sheet, so you all just have to trust me when I say that he casts teleport.
Oh.
That just scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, I was not prepared for that.
Teleports are so loud.
I need a typed out warning. This is not good for my heart condition. The condition my heart has that it gets very scared at things.
So this teleportation, it's very reminiscent for most of you of what going through one of Ryland's shadow portals was like. But less wet, for lack of better phrasing.
Oh my.
It was cold, and the darkness essentially an orb of darkness enwrapped all of you, and you were pulled along. You felt like you were never moving, but you knew you were moving, and it was cold. And as your feet come to settle, the orb drops, and you are standing in a very large teleportation circle in the middle of what appears to be a small town. There are several guards milling about, both human and drow. There are a collection of carts about. There are horses across the way in the stables looking very bored. And nobody seems even phased when you all come through this teleportation circle. The drow around snap to attention when they see Zypher, and the humans do after a moment. And then everyone just kind of relaxes.
Is it day or night?
It is daytime.
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
It is very bright. It is brighter than it has been for you guys in a while.
Kyrius tilts his head back with his eyes closed, face to the sun, takes a deep breath. Whew.
Scratch pulls out his hat and mask and puts it back on.
Zypher just kind of gives you a look, Kyrius. You humans really don't do well without sunlight, do you?
It's a lack of vitamin D. Our bodies don't produce it on its own. We also need to consume citrus for vitamin C, unlike almost everything on this plane of existence, except for guinea pigs. I'm looking into that.
Fascinating. But here I shall leave you. There are supplies in crates. You can converse with my guards. They can probably give you more information as to where you're going. But for now, good day. And he disappears. Rather dramatically in a puff of smoke.
Augie starts. My lord. What a drama queen. Augie starts stumbling toward like one of the trees over here and like sits underneath it and just immediately is like, I need 25 minutes at least to reconnect with Pelor. No one talked to me.
What?
A couple of the guards just kind of give you funny look, Augie, as you move over to one of the trees. But nobody says anything. They just kind of leave you to be. You came with the king. Like, they're not going to ask it. They're not going to ask questions.
Like, put my bag down and I take out like a special little backup like altar cloth that I have in there that has his sun symbol on it, and I put that down and I like put my holy symbol in the middle of it and just like a couple little offerings that I would normally keep with me, and I just sit there and let the sun dapple in through the branches and try to commune with the lore, and gain some of that like omnipresent glow that Augie typically has. Okay. Also, I haven't felt like it is gonna snow. It's not. What the fuck? Sorry, I just got an alert and I was not prepared.
Pelor sent her an alert.
Things to add to your next quest. Weather update.
Weather updates. Just kind of see if Pelor has any news, has anything to tell, you know, any little pamphlet updates, like a monthly newsletter, if you will. Just missed them, you know.
Sorry, boss. Haven't been keeping up with the work updates. Not my fault.
I haven't got any dreams because, like, you couldn't shine down on me. But, I'm here.
Give me a religion, Augie.
Okay. Religion is just a poorly constructed stat in this game.
So as you're sitting under the tree, Augie, you don't hear anything from Pelor. The sun feels a little warmer for a moment. But you don't hear anything else. You don't get no divine winds or anything like that. But you definitely can tell that Pelor is there.
Yeah. I'll sit here for as long as it takes for him to decide that I'm worthy of a message.
Oh, goodness.
One eternity later.
It has been a long time since I've heard from my deity. And much like a child worries when you use the bathroom because they don't see where you went, that is me.
Meanwhile, the rest of us who do not talk to our gods are just like, oh, it's Tuesday.
You got to pray at night.
While they are doing that, are there any flowers around, like wildflowers that clearly do not belong to anybody? They're just growing in a patch. I don't want to take anything from anybody's garden or anything, but are there any like flowers that are just like growing around?
Oh yeah, there's patches of wildflowers scattered everywhere in quite a few different colors. You see mostly purples and blues. You do occasionally see some purples so dark it's almost black.
While we're waiting,
like blues and whites and purple.
While we're waiting on Augie, I am going to begin collecting some wildflowers. Do I need to roll to see how many I can get? I would like them to be in fairly pristine condition, but
okay. How many are you trying to collect?
I don't know. I need to be able to carry them, so realistically, maybe 10.
Okay. And go ahead and give me a nature check for how well you collect. Yeah, you're pretty easily able to. You collect them pretty easily. They all have the same look. They're all the same shape, but they're just different colors. And this isn't a flower that you're super familiar with. This doesn't seem like it would be a normal flower. But they smell nice.
Wait, it doesn't seem normal? What? Can you elaborate on that?
It's like, you know how wildflowers will be like daisies and buttercups and things like that? Typically, they're smaller. They've got really small, rounded petals. These are a little bit more like a thick-stemmed dandelion without the bushy head, and a little more of longer petals.
So, like tulips?
No. Longer, thinner petals. So each of these flowers has about 12 to 15 petals, and they're long and thin with a center, with like a kind of a yellowish orangey center.
Okay.
Stems that are thick like dandelions.
Well, I'm going to spend some time collecting these, and I'm going to very carefully put them in my pack, and that's what I'm doing.
Okay. Augie, which tree are you sitting by?
The Islam.
You should be able to move your token.
Over her.
Ha, okay, perfect. That's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure. Go ahead and give me another religion check.
Wow. Fuck me, I guess.
I'm sorry, the deity you're trying to reach is not available. Please leave a message after the beep and try again later.
Good.
That's a reference Gen Z won't get.
I understand that reference.
Scratch is going to go to a few of the denizens that have bowed to the king.
Yes, hello.
Okay.
We need a wagon, and we need all of our equipment here loaded into the wagon. We have a very important mission.
Who do you go up to? There are several different
Which
people
one's
that have
Neil?
been bowing.
Oh, wait, hang on a second. Didn't we get a wagon with all the food? Do we still have that?
You can't really take large objects like that and people in a teleport.
Fair, but they told us it would be delivered to the surface for us.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys want to get out of the teleportation circle, it can be. So, Scratch, all of the drow in the area would have bowed first, and the humans would have bowed afterwards.
This one here looks important.
Okay. So you go over to this woman, and she's standing there with this human man, and she kind of looks down at you and just kind of, greetings, surface, kobold. She's kind of giving you a weird look because you're wearing your dragon mask, and she, small one, are you a large pseudo dragon, or are you a very tiny dragon?
Internally, neither one of these are a bad choice.
That's not important. Not important. We have to be somewhere. There was a card or something that the Zypher was supposed to send for us, and it's too bright up here.
She kind of bristles when you refer to the king so casually, which is kind of, yes, the cart will be deposited shortly. Usually carts take anywhere from a couple hours to almost a day. because the Great King can't teleport it himself. He has to take it to the other circle. If you're expecting it, it will probably be closer to a few hours. But I would recommend talking to the captain, and she points across the circle to this man right here who has been watching your group with a heavy scowl on his face. This man has been glaring at you. This man right here.
Oh, that one.
He has been glaring at you guys since you came through the teleportation circle.
Okay. This guy's gonna pick up the arcane cannon that he brought with him and start dragging it over to Captain.
He's just watching you walk by, kind of very, just like dirty look on his face. This guy is not happy you're here, and he's not afraid to tell you that he's not happy you're here.
Hello, surface dwelling person. I have come from underneath the ground and within Zypher's court to retrieve our wagon so that we may leave post haste.
Your wagon will be delivered soon. You can take one of the other ones if you need it, or
How soon is soon?
ever His Majesty deigns it important enough to teleport your wagon. You aren't the first one to try to convince me to make it go faster, little kobold. You're not the last.
Is there no communication between these two sections? I don't understand what the problem is.
He doesn't either, that's the thing. So he uncrosses one of his arms and holds up an orb. This is a communication device I have. Contact the Lord. I don't understand why does everyone always insist it's a life or death situation if they don't get out of here immediately? It's going to take time.
Do you know how to use that thing?
I would hope so.
So would I.
Yes, I know very well how to use it, snarky little kobold.
Kobold Karen.
We left the kobold to his own devices.
We did.
Yes, his moral compass is far and away.
His moral compass is way off the other side.
So when
His moral compass points southwest.
So when it comes to life or death, it is definitely life or death. Life or death of you, life or death of that person over there. He points to some random person walking by. Life and death to your cat at home. Everything. The whole world.
You mentioned the cat, and he just kind of glares at you a little harder. I'm sure that you think it's a life and death situation. However, we have policies and procedures in place. This will take as long as it has to. I can contact my lord. I can see if he can go faster. I don't think he's going to do that for you, little kobold.
Slag your policies. Contact him.
Brutus is just gonna tug on Scratch's cloak.
But I'm working here. What's going on?
Shouting generally doesn't make people go faster.
I mean, it depends, but very well.
Good sir. We understand the pressure that you're under. You must not get all of the information, as the Lord Zypher seems to just dump people here and run away. But it would greatly benefit us to know when our things would be arriving, as we do need to be off. We are on a mission that concerns the Lord himself, and we would very much like to get underway soon.
He looks over at you, Scratch. Is the talking dog a new act? I haven't seen the talking dog before.
His hand just kind of slips under his cloak for a moment before he thinks better of it.
Brutus is gonna like heckle. His heckles are just gonna go up and like, not an act.
Look, I can contact the king. I can find out what's going on, but you're not going to like my answer. I can't just snap my fingers and have your car to contact the Lord. Things take time. You guys aren't the first group. You guys are the first group that's been escorted by the king, but you're not the first group to come through here screaming that it's a life or death situation. And you know what? It's never a life or death situation.
But you contact your boss, your manager, and you just ask him how much of a life or death situation is. And you know what? I'm gonna go over here and sit on this giant metal cannon of mine, and when you're ready to talk about it, you know where to find me. And he just turns around and drags the thing through the dirt, leaving a big trail behind.
Well, yes, I do want you to call corporate.
Augie is embarrassed for you. Deeply.
Rain, what are you doing at this point?
Watching. I'm just kind of sitting there watching everything go down.
I imagine Rain has popcorn and is like occasionally throwing a little piece of popcorn at Zypher. At baby Zypher.
If you mean to him, then yes.
As you watch, this guy, he starts speaking in presumably ancient Undercommon into the orb and kind of giving Scratch like weird looks periodically and kind of looking around to all of you. And a few of the other drow are just kind of milling about. The humans are also just watching the show. The drow soldiers are just kind of milling about. You notice that they're kind of all moving away from who you assume is the captain. And then, after a few minutes, everyone starts hearing the loud, booming voice of Dark Lord Zypher chewing this man to hell for being an absolute dense moron. Of course, Zypher is going to be sending them the cart. He was waiting for the captain to contact him to let him know that everyone was clear of the circle. And you all hear in a couple different languages. He switches from common to ancient undercommon periodically.
And I can still understand.
Yes, and Scratch, you understand all of it. And there have been references to this man's mother. There have been references to this man standing in his house. There have been references to the shame that he's bringing upon his house.
Oh, they left out the cat.
And the cow.
Zypher wouldn't do that. Zypher wouldn't bring shame on the cat.
Cat comes with the cart.
Cat disowns the owner.
I am trying to get a dead cat, okay? That was my whole mission. I was on the floor in the dining room for the longest amount of time.
It was forbidden.
Don't worry. Cats have their own rules.
It was forbidden.
Augie does not care what Scratch has said about that.
Then, as the tirade comes to an end, there is a blinding flash of light as the cart now appears in the center of the circle. I don't have a token for it. You have to use your imagination. I'm going to make you all use your imagination.
No!
I know. In the ever-shifting and changing landscape of Dungeons & Dragons, I'm torturing you by making you use your imagination.
I will not stand for it.
Well, you can sit.
There. I have found a cart. It's not a pretty cart, but it's a cart.
Just gotta Got to imagine it's got the pomp and circumstances of a cart that Zypher would have sent you with.
Oh.
It works.
I imagine that just to mess with the guard captain, it now has golden filigree.
No, it's a much nicer cart than this picture implies, but it's not super flashy. It's not super over the top.
Scratch
And
just
the
notices
the
the
guard
cart
captain-
appear and kind of turns to the captive person and just gives the little finger wave.
he just very quickly, once you see the orb, the shouting has stopped and the orb has gone dark. Essentially, he quickly stows it and comes stomping over. I apologize.
Oh,
Or
that
my-
hurt, didn't it?
Apologize for the comments that I made. Didn't realize that you and your crew, the honored guests of our will
No,
remember me.
no, because, the first clue should have been that he brought us here himself.
I will remember that for next time.
Actually, yeah. Actually, you should probably just treat everyone who comes through this teleportation circle as if they're honored guests of Zypher. It might make your job a little bit easier because you'll have less people arguing with you and more people respecting you. But with, that hair situation you have, I understand that people don't respect you. Have a nice day.
Brutus
I
has
was
moved up on the list of animals that Scratch tolerates.
Look, just take your cart, take your crap, take a horse, and go.
I don't know. It didn't seem like a very life or death situation. We might be able to stick around for a while. Everyone seems to be getting kind of comfortable at this point.
Augie, do you want to make another religion?
Religion should not be intelligence based, and you can't tell me otherwise. It's not a 5.
It's not a 5.
With the artificer senses tingling, we will flash of genius.
Hooray!
That's so nice.
You're welcome.
Flash of Genius literally creates flash of sunlight this time.
So Augie, you're sitting under the tree. You're kind of getting a little disheartened and a little kind of frustrated, and you start to feel that same warmth as before, and you start to hear bells that only you can hear, and then you feel invigorated again as you hear Palor's voice in your head. Good to see you on the surface, kid.
Sure as shit missed you, Pelor. I was gonna wait here all day until you were done meandering about.
Well, can't be everywhere all at once.
I mean, I'm sure you can. You're that talented and magical, and I mean, you're a god.
Well, I'm all those things, humble to boot. But sometimes, even when life is kicking you down, you have to take a minute, sit down, rest on a tree, and relax. Find your center again.
Sir, it has been quite a time. I am not cut out for that underground life. It was dark and damp, and some places smelled constantly of like mildew, slightly covered up with potpourri. And not good potpourri, no. Not the kind of potpourri that is like in your auntie's bathroom potpourri. I'm talking like the really musty potpourri that somebody set out at their granny's for too long and then granny died and no one changed it. That kind.
Sounds like a place like that could use someone who knows a thing or two about sunshine.
and I'm sure you have the right missionary to send, and it is not me.
I don't know. Seems like you brought some of that sunshine of mine down there already. You never know.
I don't know. I think Lord Zypher is Team Augie May, if you know what I mean. I think Lord Zypher is more into Rain and Mr. Scratch, because, you know, they're smart.
Augie, as you mentioned Zypher, and everyone notices this, as you mentioned Zypher, the sunshine darkens just a little, as if a cloud has passed overhead. Dark cloud has passed overhead in front of the sun.
Was interesting.
And then you feel Pelor's same kind of the go with the flow kind of good nature that you remember kind of comes back, and the realm brightens up again as if the cloud has passed. Anybody who's looking at the sky notices that there is not a cloud in sight.
It's okay, sir. He still has his own domain. It's not like he's coming up to take over.
Well, should be best that he doesn't. I have no problems. Drown myself. But when creatures start getting out of their lane, that's when we have to get involved. And I don't think anybody wants us getting involved.
I mean, we do know the change is can always be a good and viable option. And sharing is caring, sir. That is a fundamental thing that we learn as youngins. But I understand the territorial issues among the deities and the you know, very powerful beings. Anyway, I was calling because what's been happening up here? Do you have any you know, insight, any little clues you can give us, or anything to point us that we're going in the right direction? Have you gotten a key on Opal, or the motherfucker that's inhabiting his body, Elion?
Well, I will say, stirrings have come from that, what was that place that you all met up? That, not the Imperium, the little one. With all the kings trying to pretend that they're all kings.
Sir, you know you shouldn't ask me for things like that. I have the recall memory of a goldfish.
Now, child, I gave you that recall memory. I know it is better than you're giving yourself credit for. I put those brains in that head of yours on purpose. I will not have you sitting there telling me that I did something wrong. You tell me I did something wrong?
I'm telling you, maybe I need a factory reset.
But if you get a factory reset, that means you're going to be a whole different person than you were before.
Maybe I'd be more useful.
Augie May Aster, you did not come into my halls. You did not come seeking my service to sit there and tell me that you aren't useful. Are you going to sit here and tell me that your party, your friends, don't find you useful, that they don't appreciate you being around? Are you going to sit here and tell me, that you aren't useful?
Look, I didn't call you to have this kind of conversation, but if we're going to go, sir, we're going to go there. And let me tell you, okay? I've had this hashed out with several of my party members, and I'm just telling you that I can't move like Masaru or Yore, or and I'm not smart like Rain, and I'm not good at building things like Mr. Scratch, and I don't have the confidence of Mr. Lachlan, and I think that Kyrius is just an all-around good person.
Oh.
And you know, we don't talk about Halstrom, so
Talk about how strong.
And where do I fit? As just a happy-go-lucky giant that they look to when they feel a little bit sad. I have put myself in a pigeonhole, sir. And, well, that's about it. You know, magically, I'm not anywhere close to the other magic users. I just have a few things that I can do. You know, and I'm working on collecting better things to fight with and trying to get, I guess, skilled, but I'm still having that personal growth journey, and I still just don't feel like I'm up to snuff with them. You know, they can take out a whole beast in one blow, and what can I do but say, "Excuse me, you're not being very nice." You know, I just don't. I'm not on the same level as them, and I don't know how to get there. And it is incredibly vulnerable feeling to say all of this out loud. Not only to you, but to Mr. Scratch and others, and repeatedly. Are you okay? It's. I don't know. I don't know how to get over it. All right, I'm having some self doubt. I'm never doubting you, but I'm just having some self doubt, and I've been very happy for everyone, and I think I just lost it for myself.
Augie, you get the sense that Pelor is just taking these long drags off a pipe as he's listening, and you can tell he's listening very intently as he hears everything that you say, and you very much you can almost see it in your mind's eye. He's sitting on an old-fashioned rocking chair, taking these long drags off a pipe. No? You're right in some of these aspects. You can't move like Ure does. You can't build like Scratch does. You aren't smart like Lachlan is. I'm not saying you're not smart, child. Don't you test me. I see that face that you're making there. Don't test me.
I was just gonna agree.
Where are you going to agree? And you're not going to agree. You're going to sit there on your hands like your mama taught you, and you're going to let me speak.
Yes, sir.
You ain't like them because you ain't them. You said it yourself. Who do they come to when they're sad? Who do you? Who do they come to when they're upset? Who do you? Do they go to that little kobold y'all call Captain? I'd love to sit in on that conversation. If someone goes to that little kobold and says, Mr. Scratch, I am upset, I am sad, I am feeling these things, and that little kobold doesn't try to logic himself or themselves out of that situation.
And suddenly Scratch feels very offended for some reason.
Yes.
Shade thrown by the sun god.
You ain't like them. You are the sunshine, Okami. You are one of my chosen holy paladins who were put on this plane, fight alongside these creatures to bring light and sunshine and all of its glory into this world. It ain't all just being about taking down a monster in one hit, punching him and doing flippy trickies and all that kind of crap, pardon my language. Your group is connected together by common goal. But your group, they don't talk to each other. Do they talk to each other about being vulnerable? Do they talk about they're scared and their fears? No, they don't. They talk to you because that is what the sunshine brings. You bring light and you bring warmth and you bring care. I've read those books that you've written, and those are fantastic books. All of the books.
You haven't read all of.
Oh, I've read all the books. Augie, I am beside you every step of every single day. My hand is on your shoulder. I'm not using that hand. I am not guiding your words, but I am there at your back, standing behind you so that I can watch as my divine sunshine pours through you into this world. You ain't like them. And that is a beautiful, wonderful thing. You are your own unique sun ray, brought into this world to shine. You looked at that scrungly little kobold and went, I want that one.
Much choice. He was stealing from me.
Now, and you could have turned him in, you could have flattened him, and you didn't.
Well, I wasn't stealing that much.
Didn't matter. He was still stealing. Stealing's breaking the law. And you said, he's not stealing that much. I don't need to flatten him. I don't need to turn him in. You extended that little kobold friendship. Whether or not he's taking it, that's up for debate.
Yeah, I know. I'm just a nuisance to him, too.
You and... Oh, darling, I beg you to go ask him if he sees you as a nuisance. Oh, I would pay to see that show. He'll never admit it, but I can tell you right now, none of these people here see you as a nuisance.
Paladins are strong and knight-like and regal, and I'm just a country bumpkin.
Is anything wrong with being a country bumpkin? I myself am a country bumpkin. Is that something wrong with me?
Look, you can't say that you're a god. You have all of these powers.
Yeah.
I am just trying to be your image. And I just, sometimes, I'm just falling a little short. And I'm feeling a little bad about it. Because when it comes down to it, I mean, yeah, I got healing magic and I got some knowledge of some country remedies. But if we're in a dire strait, I'm not the one they're turning to end it all for them and help them out. I'm the backup to the backup. I'm not a frontline friend. And if the world is going to shit, they're not going to care if I can make them smile or laugh for a couple minutes. They're going to care if I can help them stop what's going on. If I can get in there and stop the problem, come with a solution, make it better. And not better in the way that I sat down and I put a bandage on your knee and I kissed it better. Better is annihilating the bad and the evil and running through with the sword and clocking an arrow from 100 meters away. I mean, those are the heroes that you hear about in the stories, in the song. It's not, Peter Piper, good fella, wrote a book and it made me smile. It's just, it's not my time.
Not true. Correct. They got all their glory. Your glory is coming. Can't tell you when. I can't tell you where. Well, I can kind of tell you where. You were asking me about that drow one you got a big old crush on. I see those hearts coming out of your head every time you think of him. It's adorable as all get out.
Crush is just a small, minute thing. I don't even know him. I don't know what you're talking about.
I see the hearts coming out of your head. It's okay. Nothing to be ashamed of. There was that place. What was the name of it? It was the kobold's gonna know. I can't think of it. The kobold's gonna know. The place where he got the ship. Gotta go back
to the inbound line.
No, way back. The kobold's gonna know where he first got the ship. Ask him where he got the ship the first time. You gotta go back to the impound lot anyway. Ask him where he got it the first time. He'll know what you mean. He'll know what to do with that info.
Mr. Scratch, and I say, Mr. Scratch, Pelor says, where'd you get the boat the first time?
Found it in the middle of the forest.
What context? What do we do if we go to the place where we found the boat?
That is your next step. Get your boat out of impound. Go back to that city he found the boat the first time. Can't tell you anything else because that's going to change a whole bunch of things, and the fates are going to get mad at me if I tell you too much. Because there's a whole divine plan going on, and you got to be on the right path, and you got to make your own decisions.
What if my decision to ask you? Does that count?
You can ask me anything you want. But the answer I give you may not be the answer you want, or because it may be the answer you need.
All right. I'll go tell Scratch we need to go to where the boat was after we get the boat.
Boat at her impound lot. That I'll take care of. And tell that queen of them into Thea. Tell her that stupid bitch, the one with the pen, the one in the suit, the stupid one that put you guys in those pants, hate that bitch. She's a stupid bitch. Pardon my language. My mama raised me better.
Absolutely. I think that's their name, honestly, stupid bitch.
Yes, tell that queen of hers to investigate that stupid bitch. Get her out of where she's doing. And then get the boat. Find where the boat was. That's your next step.
So we get the boat. I go to Scratch and tell him that his beloved that he can never have because she's married needs to tell the dumb bitch to go away.
Yep.
And then we go to where we got the boat.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I think my freckles are fading.
Gonna have to fix them. Hard.
I mean, if I'm gonna have to work on my charm, that's my main gag. I gotta have the freckles. People love freckles. Without the freckles, I'm just tall gray blob.
You are still Okami Ash. Doesn't change with or without the freckles. Freckles are a bonus.
But like a furball without freckles, that's like a kobold without a tail.
That little captain of yours, he may discover what it's like to be a kobold without a tail if he ain't careful.
Well, yeah, he does not take care of himself. I best get back. They're doing the squirrely eye dance around each other.
Both know what happens when you get many squirrels in one place.
I know. I can see from here that Mr. Scratch is doing his little impatient tippy-tap-toe stomps.
This is now canon. Scratch has impatient tippy-taps toast.
Hurry up.
Oh, I think he's steaming out the nostrils. I feel bad for whoever he had to talk to.
You know, like when you play Sonic the Hedgehog and you stand still for too long and Sonic looks at the camera and taps his foot? That's what I imagine.
And then just inevitably just jumps off because you're going too slow and he'd rather be dead than slow.
Yeah.
You gotta go fast.
All right, sir. I guess I'm gonna hang up.
Right.
But thanks for showing up when I needed you.
May take me a minute. I'll always be. Now, go wrangle the troop.
All right. Nagime is gonna get up, pack her stuff, and they're gonna walk back over to Mr. Scratch and friends.
Why are both of you Matthew McConaughey?
Because Augie is the one talking to Pelor. We don't have anybody else for Pelor who's got a different accent for me to play off of.
I'd love to see you try and do my accent.
I'll just be channeling Steve Irwin at that point.
And not a good one for me.
My accent isn't Australian.
Close enough. It's not American, it's close enough.
Kind of walked into that one.
Mr. Scratch. Mr. Scratch.
Scratch is dragging his cannon over to the wagon slowly. It's getting heavier the more he drags it.
Brutus would come and offer to help.
What is it, Augie? I just had to deal with this captain. I thought he knew everything.
Yeah, I'm sure you told him as is. Taylor had a couple messages for you.
For me?
For you, specifically, yes.
I didn't do it.
Well, it hasn't come to that yet.
Okay.
The first message is I'm supposed to ask you if I'm a nuisance.
Why would you think you're a nuisance?
Because you give me that look all the time.
I give everybody looks all the time.
Exactly. How are we supposed to know if we're not a nuisance if you're giving us the look all the time?
Because I tell you guys how good of a job you do?
You don't.
Didn't we just have a conversation about how good your job you do?
Anyway, that was the first thing. Second thing, we need to get the boat out of the impound. And when we get the boat out of the impound, you need to tell the love of your life that she has to outcast that dumb bitch. What was her job? Interrogator? The one that stuck us in a room and tried to get us all to break.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Paylor says she needs the sack.
That won't be too hard.
I like that you did not say anything against calling the love of your life.
Wait a
And I said
second.
that very loudly.
Wait a second now. What are you talking about?
Huh? The Queen of Tadeo.
Right. I don't know if they got back from their honeymoon yet.
He says the word honeymoon with a lot of venom.
Honeymoon.
Well, it's okay, Mr. Scratch. You don't need
Night
to cry
carriers.
about it.
Can I carry it?
And then thirdly, he said we need to go to where you first got the ship.
The forest?
I don't know. He said that's where we need to go.
Pulls out his map.
Well, if right here's where the ship was, and then found out that the little fox was the one who owned the ship. Was it the fox that owned the ship? And then it was given over.
Sits down and tries to remember things with a history check.
Give me a history check.
The sun is in my eyes and it's affecting my brain.
So yes, you rack your brain, Scratch, and yes, you remember that the ship that you got was originally owned by Tina, the fox, and she had lost it in a bet to someone, and she wouldn't tell you who. And then the ship sat in the forest for a long time until you moved in. Everybody else moved in.
Alright, well, we'll have to tell Hallstrom where we're going. But first we gotta break in and get the ship.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling that Miss Interrogator has probably not told Onale about everything and is probably waiting for us with not such happy faces.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But that's okay, because I've gotten real good at melting faces off, so let's go.
Oh god. Let's go.
Oh, wait, one other thing.
And he pulls out of his pocket the little platinum ring that he has given Augie before for use in the warding bond spell.
I upgraded this.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I've learned how to put spells inside of items. And, well, you have about 10 uses on this thing for, to make yourself really big or really small.
That'll be so fun. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Let's go find the others and round them up.
Let's go break out a ship.
Oh, yes, I could use the new cannon.
No.
But, can you at least help me get it up in the wagon?
Of course.
You as you look over, you would see Brutus already hauling it up into the wagon.
Never
I would
mind.
imagine that's a pretty heavy wagon.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it has all the stuff we bought it.
Brutus is strong, and he has the benefit of having extra weight. He can push stuff with like putting his shoulder into it. He's a very big dog.
But is he horse big?
Almost. He's almost the size of a Shetland pony.
If anybody else has other things to do, Scratch is gonna go around and start rounding people up.
Scratch would find Lachlan muttering to himself something about something about mushy shit, and when he sees Scratch coming over, he'd briefly stop.
Hey, we got faces to melt.
Am I allowed to use my new potions?
Do they melt faces?
I'm not sure what they do. You haven't tried it yet.
Faces, we're just getting the ship out.
I can also turn them into rats if you like. We've been working on that one.
What's that saying? Tomato. Tomato.
No, it's
I think it's tomato tomato.
if we do what Scratch wants, we're all gonna end up in jail.
We've already been there. We got out.
They're gonna keep upgrading until we can't get out.
Well, wait, what do you propose we do then? Like, I mean, I'm prepared to fight our way in and ask for forgiveness later.
We could always pay the fine.
We?
I mean, essentially,
Could
all that they
always-
have, seeing as the king and queen forgave us, is that we left a ship docked in the wrong spot for too long.
Yeah, can't we count this as an expense that Masaru has to pay?
Oh, when we say we mean massage. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We mean
Sure
we
thing.
mean Masaru. We don't have that kind of money, probably.
Yeah, definitely. We don't have that kind of money.
Hopefully, we'll have a more stable income stream once my shop gets up and running. It should be getting close to being ready. Although I do need to make large batches of various potions to stock it with. And Augie, we need to look at getting some of your books printed in bulk.
You do that.
What was that, sorry?
How do you do that? I don't even know. I don't even know what that means.
It's kind of this machine. It's like a large. It looks like two slabs, and you put you put all of the letters lined up, and then you pull it down. Either that, or I can spend a few hours because I can immediately cause a page of writing to appear. Might take me a week or two, but if we're on the ship, then I will have time. Yeah, I was wondering what FP was. Is it better than PP?
Fat pieces.
We're really gonna have to give the crew a bonus.
Hey, we also have about 149,000 of those Kitsune coins.
Can we say that we're hooking up the horse as we have this bickery conversation?
Oh, 100%, I would imagine.
Lachlan, when his mage hand is buckling up on one side as his normal hands are buckling on the other.
All right. Well, since we are 3 players down, do we want to go ahead and end for tonight, and then we can pick up tomorrow, next week, with getting on the road again?
Can I have a response from Yume first?
Oh fuck! I forgot about that. Yes. It's gonna take me. It's gonna be more than a minute, so give me a second. It's gonna be longer than 1 minute, so give me 1 second.
Yume, in the middle of a meeting, gets pinged by Lachlan. It's like, I need to do that later.
Yes, canonically, that's what's gonna happen.
So-
I will get you. What?
I was just gonna waffle a little bit while you did that. So, yes, in the ship's coffers, we currently have 5 platinum, a little over 3,000 gold, 200 silver, and 1,300 copper. But we also have some daggers, 47 minotaur-sized cookies.
I don't think we have those anymore. They would have been eaten.
4 giant chicken eggs now.
Maybe we'll have 8 chickens. And as we all know, if you have 8 chickens, you get 8 eggs a day.
Yes. There's 2 chests full of coins that we haven't had God help us count yet. 1 chest full of the vials of blood that we still have.
Let's really hope they didn't decide to raid our ship and take all of our money.
36 miscellaneous bargain books.
Oh, those are mine.
7 direwolf pelts.
I think some of those are mine as well.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff. So, we're gonna be good on money for a little bit. But we'll probably have to find our crew again.
We should check a bar. Usually that's where people are.
Yeah. I don't even know how long we've been gone, honestly. Oh, mail came.
Okay. I would immediately respond to that. Writing out because it's easier. 3, 6, 4, 14. Headed to the 9 kingdoms. 19. I look over at Scratch and I say, asking if we need backup.
I don't know what we're facing yet.
I smirk and say, okay then. And yeah, Brutus's voice comes through the sending. No, that comes. That comes from Lachlan.
Okay. Well, I don't want to go too much farther into anything, so I will. I'm pulling a Doomy, and we are going to start with the response next week.
Excellent.
And we will go ahead and call it there. All right, everyone. Make sure to check us. I'm going to shill every week, just like I normally do. Hit us up on YouTube, Twitter, X, whatever the fuck it's called anymore. I don't know. I don't pay attention to it. TikTok. Follow us on Twitch. Hit that like button. Comment down below. All that fun stuff. And remember, everyone, 20 sides to every story. Roll for yours.